Hear me out. Being a multi-passionate creative is a superpower. It sounds pretty scattered. It sounds like a rebrand of ADHD. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying if you are able to channel this energy that you have for many creative interests, you can let them all just feed into one another and create multiple streams of revenue. If you're new here, my name is Genevieve. I'm an illustrator, a digital collagist, a jeweler, a tattoo artist, a beauty industry professional. I do a lot of things. I'm really excited to tell you about how I recently segued some of my tattoo style into a coloring book. I'm very proud of it. The link to this book will be in the description. When I first heard the term multi-passionate creative, a light bulb went off. I was like, oh, that's me. That's what I do. I always felt some sort of artist guilt that I should just pick a thing and be a painter or a jeweler or a seamstress and not bop along and pop between different mediums. I always found that really hard to do, though. I enjoyed the variety. I enjoyed bringing my style to a variety of different outputs. I don't feel guilty about it anymore. Now I see it as a true superpower. Not everyone fits into one box. Art isn't one lane. Creativity is an interest in experimentation, being playful, being curious, asking what if. I wonder if I tried this. What would happen if I did this? Tinkering, playing. It's fun, in my opinion. Being curious and exploring different mediums keeps creativity alive. A lot of people end up, I guess, with creative burnout. It's not something I have experienced a lot of. I usually have a lot of ideas. I'm not usually going through a long dry spell. When one project is becoming frustrating or annoying, or I just don't feel like it, I switch to a different type of medium for a little bit, and then it reinvigorates my interest in the frustrating project. A little bit about my backstory. I've spent the last 8 years earning some of my income as a tattoo artist. I specialize in a particular technique of tattooing known as hand poking, or some people call it stick and poke. I am a licensed tattoo artist. This is just the method I utilize. This means that I'm using my hand, as the name suggests, and making everything dot by dot and not using a machine. This can be enjoyable for many people. They find it is less painful, they heal really fast. However, it does have its own limitations. It's definitely slower than using a machine. And there are some stylistic limitations. You can't do photorealism with hand poking. You can't do rich saturated color. It's pretty challenging to do large projects. So I've honed my personal tattoo design style to suit the technique that suits me as well. I've mostly tattooed women. That is who is drawn to my work, and they often want flowers, celestial elements, spirit animals, moons, stars, things like that. Because it's done by hand, I kept the lines pretty minimal, a lot of negative space, only using stipple shading, some color, but not a lot. And while I still do tattooing, I had to take time to let my hands rest a bit and not schedule myself so intensely and allow for more time in between clients. I had been hearing through the art grapevine from colleagues that people have been playing around with publishing on Amazon KDP. A variety of things, coloring books, journals, activity books, that kind of thing. I personally loved coloring and coloring books when I was young, and I hadn't really thought about it in a long time, but it's a whole thing. Lots of people like to color. It's very relaxing, it's meditative, it's a pleasant way to fill time. It's something you can do with family members or people of all ages. And I started to think I've gotten pretty good at using Procreate for my tattoo designs, and I think I might have some stuff that could be repurposed or would work well with this. There's a lot of line work and open space, and so I started playing around. and experimenting with different ideas and what do I want to create. So my skills using Procreate, which I learned via tattooing, were useful to be applied to another endeavor. I think all of us crave to utilize modern technology so that we can create multiple streams of revenue. I have to be in this building, in this space to tattoo someone. If there's a snowstorm, or I become ill, or my client becomes ill, or their child's ill and they have to cancel, I can lose out on income, revenue. However, if I have an Etsy shop, if I have digital downloads, if I have some books that are on Amazon, this all adds to my bucket of revenue in little drops. I don't like to use the term passive income because there's a lot of work on the front end. So it wasn't passive, it was very active. Once it's out in the world, then it becomes more passive. But it's not just a quick little thing that did take me time. I did not use any AI to create this book. It appeals to me to have a way to build multiple audiences who have different interests. Not everyone wants a calendar of napping naked ladies, which is coming out really soon on Etsy, or a wall art print, or an abstract painting, or some big sparkly earrings, or a tattoo. I can't satiate everyone's desires, but I can put my own personal style out into the world in a variety of ways, on a variety of platforms, and see what's enjoyable for me and also what is appreciated by a wider audience. My advice as a middle-aged creative person who's been making art for decades: don't suppress your many passions. Find ways they can overlap with each other and play together, play nicely together. How can you take one passion and fold it into something else? Look for your own signature style that can bridge multiple mediums. Sometimes it's hard to know what your style is. I feel like sometimes, especially if you create custom work for other people, you're creating what they want. I find that Pinterest can be very useful. I pin anything I find interesting, beautiful color combinations, architecture elements, geometric patterns. And if I'm in need of a little bit of inspiration, I can go look through some of my boards and be like, wow, I really like hot, spicy orange with magenta and a little bit of teal mixed in, which is the cover of my coloring book. No surprise. I like archways and symmetry and geometric patterns and sparkly, twinkly stars and glittery, metallic things. In the end, I want to like what I'm creating. So if I can go look at my inspiration boards and go, wow, if I create something with this color combination or these shapes, I bet I'll really like it and I'll be really proud of it. And over time, you keep doing the things that are your favorites. That's basically your style. Now, we don't all have a palatable style. Some of my stuff is a little far out for some people. I still enjoy it. I still put it out there because I like it. It doesn't hurt my feelings if people don't want to buy everything I create. So I'll say it again. Being multi-passionate is not being scattered. It's not an ADHD rebrand. It's a superpower. It's a skill. If you are a musician who's also a writer, who's also someone who likes to do sketches and draw, you could make an entire album out of that. You can write it, the inside, the outside, make a whole concept project. You could do stop motion animation to go with your song and make a music video. You can do tattoo work that you turn into a coloring book. There's a lot of options. Don't get analysis paralysis. Just start creating. Create your creative ecosystem that is nourishing to you. You will have to hold yourself to some account as far as structure and time management and discipline. This took a lot of new skills that I didn't have, that I had to figure out how to do as I went along. A lot of different trim size and kerning and things that I am not adept at. I had to learn about what kind of fonts to get, copyright, all those things. I had to be disciplined in order to create a full body of work that is something that could be put out into the world. So it's not being airy-fairy and dreamy. There's more to being an artist than those things. We also need to hold ourselves to account, create an ecosystem that nourishes us as artists, but also generates revenue. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you are interested in self-employment, in being a creative person with many passions, multiple streams of revenue, an entrepreneur, I would love it if you would subscribe, like, drop a comment. Tell me about all your different capabilities. I'd love to hear about it. Soon I will be releasing, like I said, a calendar of naked nature nap ladies, which I'm super excited about, in my Etsy store. And I'm going to be converting some of the illustrations in this book into a calendar as well. More crossover, more overlap. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.